Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Salim Hassani and I'm your host on this program, From Birth Until Death. In the previous episodes we've been exploring some of the rulings pertaining to the newborn, and we've currently reached the point of breastfeeding. And inshallah throughout these episodes we'll be continuing with this theme and looking a bit more in depth at the breastfeeding issue itself. With us today is Sheikh Haytham Al-Haddad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you today, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, very good. Jazakallah khair, Dr. Salim.
Alhamdulillah. Sheikh, in the previous episodes we were talking about breastfeeding and the certain conditions or certain criteria that are involved in this. And we mentioned about the 5 suckles or the 5 meals as well. Is this something which is generally applicable, or are there differences of opinion in this particular issue?
Yeah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. Yes, in the previous episode we described the conditions generally.
Yes.
And we did not get into the discussion regarding the differences of opinions between these scholars. But you are right, there are some differences.
Okay.
And as we are addressing people from different backgrounds, then we have to at least mention some of those differences. We will try to mention them in a way that does not cause confusion for our viewers. You remember we said that the conditions are to have 5 suckles within the 2 hawl, within the 2 years, the first 2 years. However, both of those conditions, scholars differ on them.
Right.
The first condition, which is 5 suckles, basically there is the opinion of the vast majority of scholars, or the majority of scholars, is to consider 5 meals or suckles enough to lead to the consequences of breastfeeding.
Okay.
However, the Hanafis, they don't accept this, and they said that any kind of breastfeeding is enough for the person to become, to the child to become the son by breastfeeding to his mother and to his father as well.
Right.
So they said we do not need 5 suckles.
Not necessarily 5, could be less.
Can be less.
Right.
And they have their justification for this.
Okay.
I always advise that people who live in a Hanafi environment, or you can say that the official school of thought is Hanafi, like Turkey, or like, for example, Pakistan, or so on, just to go with the opinion that is prevalent in their society.
Okay.
Especially if it is the official endorsed madhab, school of thought.
Okay.
However, I believe strongly that the opinion that was endorsed by the Jumhur, which necessitates 5 suckles in order for the son, or for the boy, or for the child, to become a child of the woman who gave him breastfeeding.
Yes.
So why is this? They said that there are a number of hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ did not specify 5 suckles.
Okay.
He did not specify 5 suckles. For example, a person came to him and he said, Ya Rasulallah, I got married to a lady, and then a lady or a slave lady came and said that she breastfed her and myself. So basically his wife is his sister by breastfeeding.
By the breastfeeding, okay.
So the Prophet ﷺ said, leave her.
Right.
Then he said, Ya Rasulallah, how can I leave her? He said, leave her. Haven't been said that she is your sister by breastfeeding. So they said the Prophet ﷺ did not investigate whether that lady gave this lady 5 suckles or more.
Right.
Also, I don't want to confuse the viewers. They have some other adillah. Now the Jumhur have other adillah. And you know, we mentioned Hadith Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha. I mean, the majority of scholars have different also proofs.
Right.
To prove that 5 suckles are needed.
Okay.
To conclude that this child becomes the son or the daughter of the one who gave him milk.
Yes.
So they said in Hadith Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha a very authentic hadith and explicit hadith. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha said that in the beginning it was revealed in the Quran that 10 suckles or meals make it haram.
Right.
Then it was abrogated and became 5 suckles.
Okay.
And the Prophet ﷺ died and the matter was established on 5 suckles.
Okay.
So this is one strong proof.
Yes.
Then they have another important proof, another as well as strong proof. There was an incident. Salim Mawla Abi Hudayfa, he was like a servant for Abu Hudayfa and his wife Suhayla bint Sahal. So, and they had a very small house. So they said, Ya Rasulullah, he has nowhere to stay with us and we need him, and he is our servant, he is helping us and he has nowhere to stay.
Yes.
And he frequently visit and have access to the house.
Yes.
While I am there. So this is the wife of Abu Hudayfa.
Yes.
So the Prophet ﷺ said, okay, give him 5 meals.
Okay.
Give him 5 meals.
Yes.
Once you give him 5 meals, he will become like your son from breastfeeding or by breastfeeding.
Yes.
So these ahadith, as well as number of ahadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تحرم المصة ولا المصتان ولا الإملاجة ولا الإملاجتان, that 1 suckle or 2 suckles will not make haram, will not make the law of tahrim.
Yes.
Between both. So they said that this shows that 5 suckles are the minimum requirement for the haram or mahram to be established between the child and the one who gave him the milk.
Right. Okay. Jazakallah khair.
So this is this is the issue. As I said, that maybe in some communities they don't believe or they don't go for this opinion.
Yes.
And this is the dominant school of thought. Then we say, of course, we don't want to create any kind of disagreement or dispute.
Yes.
Then follow the dominant school of thought in your country. But if there is a space to go against that,
yes,
then it's better to go for the safest opinion, which is the opinion that has been supported and endorsed by the majority of scholars, which is 5 meals or suckles.
5 meals or suckles. Jazakallah khair for clearing up this issue, Sheikh. Also in this, as we're mentioning this issue at the moment, what happens if someone was to have been suckled maybe less than 5 times by someone other than his mother? Then what would be the relationship between that lady and the child?
Okay, see, as we said, if we go for the Hanafi school of thought, then the Hanafi school of thought consider it general.
Yes.
Any number of suckles will make a child as the son or the daughter of the one who gave him the milk.
Yes.
However, according to Jumhur, it doesn't mean anything.
Yes.
However, we say that it is better to be on the safe side. So if a person wants to marry a lady, and that lady, especially if she is from a different background, from a different country where the Hanafi school of thought is dominant.
Yes.
So we say just be on the safe side and avoid marrying her.
Okay.
That will be better.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Now, it may even be the case that someone has married someone, and then after they've married, he's then or she is then found out that they are their brother or sister via breastfeeding. What should one do in this situation?
Yeah, we mentioned the hadith. There was an incident where one of the Sahaba came to the Prophet ﷺ and he said that he got married to a lady, and he was told by just one single lady, by one single lady, a slave lady, that she gave suckle to both of them.
Yes.
And he said that, okay, Ya Rasulullah, what shall I do? The Prophet ﷺ said, leave her.
Yes.
The Prophet ﷺ said, leave her. And from this, the scholars said that if a trustworthy witness comes and confirms that there was a suckle or breastfeeding between both,
yes,
or breastfeeding in a way that does not make this lady halal for this man, then we should be careful and we should end the marriage.
We should end the marriage.
See, in some communities, unfortunately, this is something common because of ignorance.
Yes.
And I remember I received this question a number of times.
Right.
From people who said that he was about to marry a lady, alhamdulillah, not get married.
Yes.
He was about to marry a lady, and they told him and they told her that maybe there is a suckle between both of you.
Right.
Now there are two things here. If there is a doubt and if it is confirmed.
Yes.
If it is confirmed, definitely they should leave it.
Okay.
If there is a doubt, if the doubt level is so strong or strong, although it is not confirmed, then we say leave her.
Okay.
But if it is maybe a small doubt, then they can go ahead. It is their choice.
Okay. So this depends on the level of certainty then.
Exactly, and the doubt.
Okay.
Because, you know, with relatives, this is, especially in some communities, is very common.
Okay.
With relatives. For example, my brother and my wife gives milk to his daughters or his children in general, or my cousins, maybe their wives, they give milk to my children, and so on, especially in big families.
Yes.
And we noticed in some communities that sometimes women, they enjoy doing this.
Yes.
Okay, give me your child, he's a lovely child, let me breastfeed him, and so on.
Okay.
So they just take him and they put him.
Okay.
And sometimes they forget, sometimes they remember later.
Yes.
And that's why we would like to say that don't stop it, no.
Yes.
Don't stop it, is something that is good. But we say that whenever you do it, just try to write it down or record it or make it common.
Yes.
So people will be aware of it, and so we will not get into this problem.
Okay. Jazakallah khair for clearing this up, Sheikh. We're going to take a break now, and after we come back from the short break, inshallah, we'll be continuing with this program. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back after the break. Before the break, we were talking about the various differences of opinion regarding the conditions of breastfeeding. And inshallah, we're just going to look in a bit more depth into this aspect of it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, before the break, we were talking about the 5 suckles. Now, is there any other differences with regarding this criteria, or any criteria for breastfeeding?
Yes. As we said, that the 2 main conditions are the 5 suckles and the period.
Yes, the time period.
The time period in which these 5 suckles should take place.
Yes.
And there are mainly 2 opinions. The opinion of the Hanafi school of thought again, and the Jumhur, the vast majority of scholars. Now, or the majority of scholars. The Hanafi opinions believes that 30 months is the period in which these 5 suckles, or in which suckling can take place, and the consequences will be established.
Right.
So it is not 2 years as the Jumhur or as the majority of scholars believe.
Okay.
The majority of scholars believe that the period for rada'a, or the period for breastfeeding, is 2 years only.
Right.
So if there is any breastfeeding that took place after 2 years, then that has no consequences.
Right.
While the Hanafi, they extend the 2 years into 30 months.
Right.
Why is this? They say, Allah Jalla wa Ala says in the Quran, وَحَمْلُهُ وَفِصَالُهُ ثَلَاثُونَ شَهْرًا. The haml, the pregnancy, and the breastfeeding is 30 months.
Right.
And they said that Allah Jalla wa Ala referred to any of them, not both of them together.
Okay.
So the fisal, which is the breastfeeding, can take place throughout any period or any point throughout 30 months.
Right.
As you can see that there is a period of 6 months difference between the 2 years and the 30 months.
Yes.
So according to the Hanafi school of thought, if a child, his age is 2 years plus, provided that he is younger than 30 months, suckled from a lady
Yes.
5 times, or according to the Hanafis, he suckled,
Yes.
just suckled,
Just suckled, yes.
then he will be her son.
Okay.
But according to the Jumhur, he will not be her son.
Right.
This is the classical Hanafi school of thought. I don't know now what do they practice.
Okay.
Whether in for example, in countries like Turkey or Pakistan, where the Hanafi school of thought is the dominant school of thought.
Yes.
So, as we said, the Jumhur, they believe that 2 years is the period for breastfeeding.
Yes.
And they said that Allah Jalla wa Ala says in the Quran, وَالْوَالِدَاتُ يُرْضِعْنَا أَوْلَادَهُنَّ حَوْلَيْنِ كَامِلَيْنِ.
Yes.
The mothers, they breastfeed their children for what? حَوْلَيْن.
Yes.
2 lunar years. And also there is, there are a number of ahadith, in fact, that refer to the 2 years. There is one hadith that Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu said that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sahbihi wa sallam said, لا رضاع إلا ما كان في الحولين.
Okay.
There is no rida'a, there is no breastfeeding except that which take place in what? In the 2 hawl.
Yes.
Which is the 2 years.
Yes.
And also there are some other ahadith to support this. There is also the very famous hadith of Salama, when the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sahbihi wa sallam said, لا يحرم من الرضاع إلا ما فتق الأمعاء في الثدي وكان قبل الفطام. لا يحرم من الرضاع لا يحرم من الرضاع إلا ما كان إلا ما فتق الأمعاء وكان في الثدي وكان في الثدي وكان قبل الفطام. What is the translation of this? That what makes haram out of rida'a, what establishes haram because of rida'a, is what fills the stomach to the point of being or about to be bust.
Okay.
The stomach or am'a in general to be bust.
Okay.
Means full.
Full, yes.
Not just any suckle.
Yes.
And then في الثدي. في الثدي is a statement by the Arabs to mean while the person is suckling in the 2 years, in the first 2 years.
Okay.
And this is also supported or confirmed by the other statement in the hadith itself, وَكَانَ قَبْلَ الْفِطَامِ.
Right.
And it is before the person or the child stops feeding.
Okay.
Okay, from the milk of his mother.
Yes.
So they said that this means that the period for suckling is only 2 years.
Right.
This is the opinion of the majority of scholars, and we believe that it is a stronger opinion. However, maybe some people who live in a Hanafi society, and the Hanafi society is the dominant society, maybe they need to take that into consideration.
Okay, Jazakallah khair for explaining this, Sheikh. Also, when we're talking about milk, particularly with breastfeeding, we often hear something about man milk. Could you explain something about this?
Yes, this is a very interesting concept, and I'm sure that many people are unaware of this concept. Okay, there is one incident where Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha refused to uncover in front of a man called Aflah, Ibn Abi Qu'ais. So the man, Aflah, said to her, I am your uncle. So Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha said, are you my uncle? No. He said, yes, my brother's wife fed you. Then Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha said, yes, who fed me is who? Is the lady, not your brother.
Right.
The lady,
yes,
your brother's wife, is the one who breastfed me.
Yes.
Not your brother.
Yes.
So then when the Prophet ﷺ came and he said, Ya Aisha, he is your uncle.
Right.
Oh Aisha, he is your uncle.
Okay.
Now, the vast majority of scholars took from this hadith that the milk, in fact, belongs to the man who was married to the lady that gave breastfeeding.
Right.
Okay, or let me be more precise. The milk belongs to the man who instigated the pregnancy.
Okay.
And the child was given, the child was born for that man. So the man, in fact, he is the one who provoked the milk.
Yes.
So it is his milk, although his wife is the one who gave milk, or the one who breastfed the child.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So the man, as they are saying that this milk, she did not have it by herself. It was her husband,
yes,
who is the father of her child, is the one who produced, or let her produce the milk.
Yes.
And this concept is known as laban al-fahl.
Okay.
What does that mean? When we come and discuss the consequences, we haven't discussed the consequences of breastfeeding in details, but when we come and discuss the consequences of breastfeeding, we will see that if a child was fed by a lady,
yes,
then that lady becomes his mother.
Yes.
Allah Jalla wa Ala says in the Quran, حرمت عليكم أمهاتكم وبناتكم وأخواتكم وعماتكم وخالاتكم وبنات الأخ وبنات الأخت وأمهاتكم اللاتي أرضعنكم وأخواتكم من الرضاع.
Yes.
It is haram for you, and Allah Jalla wa Ala listed the mothers, the daughters, sisters, etc. And then Allah Jalla wa Ala said, وَأُمَّهَاتُكُمْ اللَّاتِي أَرْضَعْنَكُمْ.
Yes.
And the mothers, and Allah Jalla wa Ala in fact called them ummahat directly.
Yes.
Your mothers that have breastfeed you.
Yes.
And the sisters out of rada'. So the lady that gave milk to him will become his mother out of breastfeeding.
Yes.
And the husband for that lady, who is the father of the boy or the child,
yes,
with which this foreign child had milk with,
yes,
becomes the father of the child.
right,
So let us say that we have a sister called Hafsa,
okay,
and her husband called Zayd,
okay,
and there is a child called Ali.
yes,
This Ali is a foreigner, a child.
okay,
Hafsa and her husband Zayd,
yes,
they had a daughter. Let us call that daughter Hind.
okay,
So the Hind is the daughter of Hafsa and Zayd. Then Hafsa, the wife, started to breastfeed Ali. He is a foreigner child.
yes,
He's not her son,
not
blood son.
Yes.
Now, this child, who is Ali, becomes the son of who? Of Hafsa. And he becomes the son of who?
Also the son of the husband, Zayd.
Of the son of Zayd, the
Yes.
husband of Hafsa.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
And we call Zayd the father by breastfeeding of who? Of Ali.
Ali. Yes.
So he becomes his father.
Yes.
So for example, again another example, if my wife is breastfeeding my children,
Yes.
and your child was breastfed by my wife,
Yes.
so your child will become my child as well,
Yes.
not becomes my wife's child only.
Yes.
He becomes her child
And your child.
and my child as well.
Okay.
What are the other consequences of this?
Just before you stop there, Sheikh, we're just going to have to end this episode, and when we come back, inshallah, we'll be continuing the discussion.
Inshallah.
We've been talking about breastfeeding and some of the consequences and the difference of opinions. And after this episode, inshallah, in the next episode, we'll be going in more depth and discussing further. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.